Yogi Triathlete just launched a brand new website. We have unrolled Squad. Squad is a virtual group coaching community like no other in the endurance sports space. We've got years of amazing content in there. Yoga for athletes, mobility classes, race course recons. We've got training plans from ultra marathons to Ironman, everything in between. We have a group coaching call every month. We have live streams, live classes, so much stuff in there, and a great community of people who are awake and ready. You will never have to train alone again with this virtual community. 7-day free trial. Get over there right now. Sign up for it. We'll see you in Squad. Namaste.
It's really important to know how you set yourself up for tests like this. Like, what do you do the night before? What do you do in the morning? How do you prepare your mind? And I treat these experiences as race day. You know, when you get the butterflies, you get the nerves. What happens if you don't hit a good time? What happens if you're slower than you think? What happens if you go out too hard and you can't breathe? So the list was endless, and I think I did a pretty good job. I let it all go and laughed at it. I actually laughed because I saw, like, this is old BJ getting worked up for a test, right? And when you laugh at it, it really diminishes not the importance of it, but the level of intensity that you're giving it. It's simply just another experience. It's just another swim in the pool.
In the midst of feeling like garbage, not getting the things accomplished that I wanted to get accomplished, all the little pivots that I had to make, I could still see and activate and feel gratitude. Because how do I become a better teacher? Because of today. How I move through today in flow informs how my future unfolds. And it's so important. It's critical how we respond to what comes at us in life. It is critical to be awake and ready for all that's coming your way. Welcome back to the Yogi Triathlete podcast. I'm Jess, co-founder of Yogi Triathlete, co-founder of Squad, co-host of this podcast, Why? Because my partner in everything right here, BJ Gumkowski, is by my side on the other mic. We are live now in our pod squad, and we're coming to you with another episode of Pause, which is the interim series where BJ and I hop on the mic and we just riff on life from a mindful perspective, because we are constantly pausing in life, because we are constantly challenged, like everybody is, with thinking things are going to go one way and then they go several different ways, or pausing in those moments of like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that another miracle just rolled in. So welcome to the show, Beach.
It's good to be back today, round 2.
Yeah. Well, talk about pausing and pivoting.
Yeah, let's dive right into how we pause today.
We recorded this podcast this morning and then I deleted it. So anyway, I want to thank our Pod Squad members who are allowing this podcast since 2016 and the Awake Athlete podcast since 2020 to be commercial free. And if this podcast resonates with you, if it's assisted you, if you have picked something up and applied it to your sports performance or your life, consider becoming a Pod Squad member. It's $10 a month. We've kept it very simple. We used to have all these tiers and everything, but it's $10 a month. You don't even have to think about it. And it really, really helps this show stay commercial free, but also stay in the world and getting these messages out there. And our amazing guests, I mean, over 400, and I don't even know. Actually, we've been so bad lately. I've been like losing. I'm like, I don't even know what episode this is. It's 400 and something.
445.
Okay, Beach is on it, 445. So thank you, Pod Squad members. That's why you guys get this exclusive live. This is why you get the video version of it. And then, yeah, we're just so grateful. And we really want to keep this commercial free. There's something super cool about a community supported podcast. And we want to recognize that and thank everybody who's a part of it. So if you're interested, go to yogitriathlete.com, click on podcasts, and you'll see Pod Squad. Boom, $10. Don't even have to think about it. And we thank you in advance.
Yeah, we do appreciate your support. And I want to keep doing this. I love being in front of the mic. I know you love being in front of the mic. And I love that we get to chat and talk deep to an audience. We talk deep together all the time without an audience. But it's also good to bring in guests and just to promote Lawrence. On our last guest that we had on the podcast, it was awesome conversation. Everything aligned to get him in person. And if you missed that one, go back and check it out. And if you missed his first podcast, go way, way back to Lawrence's first podcast ever and check that out from a few years ago. So yeah, we love doing this. We love bringing good conversation. And with that, do you want to get started on pausing? You're all fired up about pausing this morning, and you paused, and then that set a trajectory for, as I'm sure people out there can relate, a slew of opportunities.
So many pivots today. Yeah. So many pivots today.
So how did you navigate it? Well, give yourself a grade of how you pivoted and shifted.
Oh, I think I did a really good job. I give myself an A.
Okay. Well, let's share with them like how it unfolded.
And I want to be clear about what that A is included. It doesn't mean because I was perfect. It means I kept moving forward in agitated states. I moved forward in states of feeling like anxiousness and feeling like, why am I doing this when this person's supposed to be doing this? And I think that using the breath and staying present to that, because that's not me. That's Jess as a human out of alignment. That's ego getting involved, the small self getting involved and trying to control situations as opposed to relaxing and staying in flow. So I think this is such a great example of what it means to really live a mindful life and to be awake. So it all started at about 4:45 a.m. this morning. And the plan was to do my ridiculously long slew of morning rituals that I do, and then get out for my run, because at 8 a.m. we had on the calendar that we were going to record a pause episode. And then I took Clark out for a walk probably around 6:30. And it became really clear that he was having so much fun. It was nice, cool weather, not too cold. And he was sniffing and he was running. And we live in a very quiet little beach community. So I'm able to have him off leash. And he's so awesome off leash anyway. And I could feel like this, like, oh, I got to get back. I got to get my run in. I get like, come on, Clark, like we got to go. And I just like, I don't know, really quickly, not too long into the walk, I'm just like, he matters, and his little life or his big life, and being able to sniff, and me being able to enter the day, not in tension, but in tension with an S. That felt like a gift. And I thought about my schedule. I didn't have my phone or anything with me. I thought about my schedule and I was like, I think I can do my run after the podcast. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to have breakfast. And then I just had this great walk with Clark. We had a lot of fun. And I got back and the plan was great, and I gave myself an A+ for not rushing my run. And, because I didn't want to go into it feeling like I got to get back. And then, get to the podcast and be late for it. I'm trying to be on time for everything. It's a directive from my teacher to be respectful and to be on time for things. And so anyway, I thought it was all good. And we talked about it on the first podcast that we recorded today. And it's interesting how the mind's like, good job. And that's the ego too. Good job, Jess. You didn't move from being rushed, right? Like being hurried, rushing through, not doing your warm-ups, not doing flow rope, not walking backwards. And, but it didn't go that way. Like the little self thought like, good job. Now you're all clear to have flow today and be awesome and have a great run. And it was like a series of like little pivots all day long. And I love how it actually, here I am now, showered, my hair is clean. Like the first time we recorded this, like my shirt smelled, I was in my running clothes. And I remember just being like, ugh, like I don't feel good. I didn't feel like aligned in that podcast. And I mean, it was like, we finished the podcast And then I was like, okay, I'm going to get this up for the producer. I'm going to get it up for Pod Squad. Then I deleted it. And then I had to move through just like, oh my God, I was like, BJ, I feel so bad. And BJ was so wonderful this morning. He was just like, it's not a big deal. Yeah. I mean, you're human. So, right. Like you have your moments too, but today you were so kind. I mean, that's your foundation. You are kind and compassionate, but you're so kind. Like you didn't say anything where I would then internalize it as like, I'm a loser. Right. You just gave me this wide open space to be like, okay, move through it. So I did. And then I got breakfast and I ate and everything. And then our maintenance man showed up because I spotted in our fireplace like some mold on the old logs. We have a gas fireplace. Of course, I did research. It's like if there's water in the fireplace, that if there's moisture, it gets trapped, there's mold. I'm like, I don't want mold. So anyway, here he comes with the new logs and sits down on my brand new rug with dirty shoes and starts cleaning out the fireplace. And there's just like soot going everywhere. And he's so nice. And I absolutely love him. He's so nice. And I'm watching this and part of me is just like laughing, right? So anyway, he has no idea how to do it. So now I'm on YouTube and like I've got all this stuff I need to do so I can get out for my run. Now, meanwhile, I will say what's happening is I have appointments that are being canceled. People are contacting me being like, I can't make the 1 o'clock. Somebody's like, I can't make the 2 o'clock. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. My day is opening up while I'm on YouTube trying to figure out how to get this gas fireplace. Yes, if you're on Pod Squad, you're looking at the gas fireplace right now. It's not lit because I'm scared to death about how it all got put together. But I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm like, well, where did you buy it? And anyway, that was one thing. And then I ended up going out for my run and the run was garbage. My body felt like garbage. And I was like, okay, pivot. Right. So anyway, well, I'll talk about the run and what I did to the run. And then I think you guys get the gist. Like there was a lot of things that were just like kind of coming at me. And it wasn't a bad day. And even though I was feeling these feelings of agitation, it wasn't a bad day. These days give me the opportunity to walk my talk. And these days give me the privilege to teach what I teach with such confidence and authenticity because I am walking the talk and I am not immune to agitation. I'm not immune to being like, oh my God, why am I looking up the YouTube thing about how to put this fireplace together? So the run was garbage. I felt like garbage. So that I was like, okay, pivot again. So I walked backwards for 5 minutes. Then I did like 4 minutes of running, 1 minute of walking. And you had me doing like the hill in the lagoon and then fast on the flats. And my legs are just toast. I'm Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's Wednesday now. They were just toast. Is it Wednesday? Yes. It's Wednesday. It's the longest Wednesday in history. And, it was hard. It was really hard, but I did the workout and I think my paces on the flats were good. But my body just felt like garbage. So anyway, I stopped in between the sets and I would do an inhale for 4 and an exhale for 6. And the sun was out and it was warm and I needed sun. I could smell the sunscreen on my body and I was so grateful for it. And the ocean breeze. And so in the midst of feeling like garbage, not getting the things accomplished that I wanted to get accomplished, all the little pivots that I had to make, I could still see and activate and feel gratitude. Because how do I become a better teacher today? Because of today, and how I move through today in flow informs how my future unfolds. And it's so important. It's critical how we respond to what comes at us in life. It is critical to be awake and ready for all that's coming your way. So anyway, here we are, V2 of the Pause Podcast, episode 445. That was a big download. That's just a glimpse, guys. There was lots of little pivots. I mean,
the reel you were trying to put up.
Oh yeah, I put a reel up and I was like, oh, should I center it? Should I, it was like, my mind I was dysregulated. Like my physical self was dysregulated. But I kept feeling my feet on the ground. I kept feeling my breath, my heartbeat. I kept being awake to like, don't go down to the office and complain that and there was like soot all over the rug afterwards. Don't. I love that man. He's so kind. And like, I can wash the rug. That's the whole Ruggable, by the way. If you don't have a Ruggable rug, you got to get Ruggable. It's the best. You just whip it up, throw it in the washer. It's all okay. But yeah.
We grow through the challenges. That's how
you grow.
It's an easy day when you're just like, the sun is out. I had a perfect run and had some wonderful clients. And then we got to wind down early. And what did you learn in that day? Well, you learn that you're living your best life because you're doing the work and everything is falling into place. And then the next day, you're challenged every turn you make, you're met with a new challenge. And that's how you apply the tools that you've been practicing, your routine that you mentioned in the morning, our routine in the morning, all the things that we do set you up to handle and manage those challenges. So you're awake to it. You talked about awake and ready. Like we're awake to the challenge. We're there. We're ready with the tools. We work through the challenge of today, and then we grow and expand. And soon, I firmly believe this, soon as those challenges, that wave comes in again, they're going to have less of an impact on you, and then less of an impact on you. And then eventually there's going to have zero impact on you. And your invincibility rating is going to be so high because nothing can shake you. You're unshakable.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, and what Meditator Bob taught us a long time ago is like, can you imagine if you weren't meditating and you hadn't been mindful and you haven't responded to life in a mindful way all these years? I mean, I probably would have fallen down the stairs and broken my neck today. So everything that came at me today was karma, right? And you can't negate that. But as you raise your vibration, this is a little bit spiritual here, but as you raise your vibration, that the cause and effect, we live in a world of cause and effect, the results of your actions that are going to come back to you, they get lessened. So I was just burning up karma today.
Two examples, which I really feel could have been bigger. Spilling the espresso, the leftover espresso.
Oh my God. That didn't even shock me at all.
Right?
Like that didn't rock me at all.
Well, and I was in the kitchen hurrying while something was happening. I was in the kitchen cleaning the food processor, the blade, and I'm scrubbing it with what is the scrubby we have?
Oh, the Scrub Daddy.
The Scrub Daddy.
That's a whole other story.
And I was going so fast, it jerked in my hand.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
But it missed me. And I'm like, oh, I need to slow way down.
Yeah.
So in those two instances, I feel energetically and universally like those could have been bigger, have a bigger impact on us. But because of the work that we do, and I do believe this, things slow down a little bit, and you see those moments, and you're spared the extreme gravity of those moments, and you only get a portion of it. And let's go back to my bike crash. Like it could have been so much worse.
Yes.
The ash on the carpet could have been burning ash on your carpet.
The way that
I call it your carpet.
It is, but like we're talking about a gas fireplace here, right? Like it could have blown up, but it didn't.
Right. There's so many things that could be so much leveled up. But I also want to say there were moments years ago, for me at least, that would happen. Things would happen, like degloving my thumb, and the car goes off the road in a steamboat because you were trying to play in the snow. Remember that? So there's little things that
I remember that.
Yeah, there's little things that we would do that actually did turn out pretty interesting. But I think in all of this, it shows where are you on the path? Where are you when extreme challenge comes? And then what happens when challenge comes relentlessly in a period of a few short hours? What is the temperature gauge? How are you navigating challenge? And are you able to move through it and grow more quickly and expand from it? Or are you going to hold on to it and retain and hold that frustration only to come out at a later time because you can't hold it in. It's going to explode at some point.
Yeah, you can't. And I think that's the discernment. Like you can't repress. Oh, you can, but don't.
Yeah, it's not the path.
Don't repress because that's how humans get really sick. It's poison. And so you have to feel it. And I think the biggest thing is that we're not immune to this. You live mindfully, you do a morning breath practice, you know, a little bit about the Yoga Sutras, you know, you read Autobiography of a Yogi, like you try and show up and, you know, go with the flow as they say. It doesn't mean that you won't be challenged. I had somebody recently, it was a client of mine, and I can't remember who it was. And so if that client is listening to this, please forgive me if I'm paraphrasing this incorrectly or not recalling it correctly. But the essence of it was that there was a bit of like an intimidation factor around Team Yogi Triathlete because they have it all figured out. And I was like, whoa. Like, no, we are just awake. And we are a community that is awake and open and saying, I don't have it all figured out, but I know that if I start to breathe more consciously, I'll be able to see the patterns of what I'm creating. And so I think it's super important as leaders of this community to be so transparent about the fact that we are not immune to agitation. We are not. I mean, yesterday we were on the phone with Amazon for how long? Because I realized that we've been getting charged for Prime that we don't even have for a year. And that guy was so nice. And that didn't trigger me at all. But you were trying to get to the pool. So maybe there was some trigger that was coming up for you. And the guy was so nice. And I just kept thinking about like, man, there's been times in the past where I have screamed at people on the phone, or, you know, maybe would have been frustrated today.
Was that today or yesterday?
No, it was yesterday.
Okay.
It was a primer for today.
I had to go to the gym, not the pool.
Yeah, you were going to the gym.
That's right.
Or like just moments that like I regret. And I think that that's the biggest thing. Like two things, like you're not immune to this, but when you are awake and ready, when you do have a practice that helps you regulate your nervous system, where you can be more present in life, you have way less regrets. But there are going to be some times that you freak out, and that's okay. But they're few and far between. And the big things in life are few and far between. And the little things that happen today, I'm sure there's plenty of people that would give anything for a pivot day like that, as opposed to, you know, the tidal wave that's crashing over them. And so, you know, I hold it all with reverence, and it's all important because everything is the result of past action. Everything that brought us to this moment is the result of our past actions, thoughts, and words. And so I've got a lot to clean up from the past, and I got to clean up some of that today.
A little housekeeping.
Yeah, a little housekeeping, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. So it's a pivot day, and I like this podcast. I'm feeling definitely more aligned. And I just had a beautiful session with a client of mine who's been a longtime client of mine. We've met every other week since, 2017, I think. Just so dedicated. Really beautiful. And we had a really nice grounding meditation. So, and I did several of those, like little mini ones in between, like my body wanting to be on a gurney during the run today.
The energy, I can say, has definitely shifted from when we sat earlier today.
Yeah. Hi, Clark.
To what it is now.
Hi.
And I've also worked out twice, which definitely has an impact.
Oh man, moving your body is huge. Hi, buddy.
Although I did do yoga at 6. I taught a yoga class for a client at 6 a.m. That was cool. So I did do a workout before that podcast. Anyway.
Okay. You lie down.
Where we go next?
To organize Clark.
Clark, come here, bud.
Organize Clark because he's coming over to the interface.
Clark is not a small dog, for those that are not on the video. He's not considered a small dog.
It's the best. All right. Let's talk about your return to running.
Return to running. Yep.
Do you want to talk about, what do you want to talk about first? Because you did a swim test today too.
I did do a swim test today. Let's start there. It's fresh in my mind.
Oh, I think there's a cool concept around this swim test
Go
because
ahead.
today was a gorgeous day.
Well, this is
and it wasn't predicted to be a gorgeous day.
Right.
And you were like, I'm going to stay the course and do what I said I was going to do. So important. Okay.
But this also
talk a little bit about that.
Well, it goes
please.
back to, so I had the swim test today. The swim test is 1,000 yards time trial, and then you do a 100-yard time trial. This is after 2,400 yards of warming up. I love that. Like you almost do a full workout before you actually get to the test. I love that. But you talked about everything that we're experiencing now as a result of our past actions.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the pool today, the pool I don't normally go to, but I went on Monday because I want to do the test in yards versus meters. And the regular pool we go to is closed. So I went to this pool, which people say, a little bit dirtier, a little bit colder temperature, hard to find a lane. And I went there both days, but let's talk about today. And it was gorgeous. The sun was beaming. I had a lane to myself, and I had the lanes on either side of me open. And the water temperature was wonderful. It was so perfect. And I set myself up for a great experience because I wasn't rushed. I got there at 11. I wanted to be there at 11. Took my time, did my breathing, did the test, and left with an extremely elevated energy level. It didn't take too much out of me. So swim test went really well. And it's a test. Do you want to talk about the test?
Please. We want numbers.
Haven't done the test.
Want it all.
In 2 years. It's a test I started to do in 2017 and the test that I give our team. So I physically have been unable to swim comfortably and for a long period of time in the past 2 years. Until now. And things have changed. So I went to give it a go. And it's really important to know how you set yourself up for tests like this. Like, what do you do the night before? What do you do in the morning? How do you prepare your mind? And I treat these experiences as race day. When you get the butterflies, you get the nerves, you get the thoughts, and these were real today. Back to being, I don't have it all figured out. What happens if you don't hit a good time? What happens if you're slower than you think? What happens if you go out too hard and you can't breathe? That was a real thought that I had. What if you expand upon this tan line on your forehead because you didn't put sunscreen on because you didn't want to get it in your goggles? So the list was endless, and I think I did a pretty good job.
Yeah. Well, can we just take an aside here that you
what
realize that you're putting sunscreen on your forehead? You were putting sunscreen on the parts that were not exposed to the sun.
Right. Yeah.
So now that we got that
figured out. Now I just need to find a sunscreen that doesn't irritate my eyes or goggles. Yeah, that's the next step.
Okay.
All right. So, the mind was busy. So what you do here is you do the warm up and then you get out of the pool. And I went over and sat on a beach chair. They have loungers there. It's a really nice pool facility, and just took some breaths, closed my eyes, let the sun beat on my face. I visualized how I was going to do the race. I saw myself getting sloppy and pulling back into form. I found myself always having that breath that I thought I wouldn't have. And I let it all go and laughed at it. I actually laughed because I saw this is old BJ getting worked up for a test, right? And when you laugh at it, it really diminishes the not the importance of it, but the level of intensity that you're giving it. It's simply just another experience. It's just another swim in the pool. So I jumped in, off I went, held it really strong, and came through the swim in 14:21. So 1,000-yard time trial in 14:21, which is something I did a couple of years ago, a 1:26 per 100-yard pace. And the fastest I've ever done it, just for reference, is 13:45. So I'm not too far off, 35-ish seconds.
We'll take it.
I'll take it. But do you see how the mind already, it wasn't intense, but it was there. I had the thought, oh, you should be better. You've been doing this a long time. How come you didn't go fast enough? All of the thoughts will trickle in. And if you are not able to pull yourself out like Jess did today, like be able to see and witness it all and observe, then you're going to get caught up in the emotions of it, for sure. Because the mind will never be satisfied. Never be satisfied. An uncontrolled mind will never be satisfied.
Yeah.
So gratitude. You talked about gratitude too. After that, I was just so appreciative that I was in a sunny pool, that I'm healthy, that it was only a $5 entry fee, that I had a lane to myself, and that I had the time to go in the middle of the day to go do this swim test. Mm-hmm. Gratitude, always. Got out of the pool. Oh, I did a 200 easy and then got out of the pool and did it again. Catch my breath, slow down, get calm. Super happy, joyful that the big set was over. All I had was 100. Jumped in, went pretty hard from the start, and remembered a moment on the return, the last 25, where I was about halfway to the end and just thought about, don't breathe. Like, just keep your head down and use the breath that you have. And I was able to do it for a few strokes, and then I took a breath. Yeah. And then I went and buried my head until I think it was 6 or 7 strokes till I hit the wall, that I didn't breathe after that, and did 114. So all in all, super stoked for the swim test.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. It's a good experience.
Great. That's great.
It's good to have those race experiences. I feel like more than anything, the times are cool, but how do you navigate it when your heart's pumping? I actually had my hand on my heart and I'm like, wow, it's like pumping when I was sitting trying to calm my breath. Mm. And then you can look at it as panic, or are you just simply excited? Mm-hmm. When I had an athlete say that they are just doing this for lifestyle, and I'm doing this for lifestyle. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm passionate about. I love these moments where I feel all the things that athletes feel, because I'm not above it all. I'm not above it all. I feel all these things. Mm-hmm. They light me up, and I'm getting more clear and calm on how to manage them all. So it was a good day. I love that. Yeah.
I love that our neighbors think we're crazy too. We have really fantastic neighbors. Like I love everybody. There's a lot of people who have moved in that we don't quite know yet, but everybody is so lovely. And now we've been pulling the tire out front.
Oh yeah, the tire pulling. We're going to touch upon that. We have a tire now.
And they're just like, and then we have one guy that lives here who's a squad member, Sean. And so Sean actually helped us put the tire together because we needed a drill. And I was like, oh, Sean definitely has a drill. And then, we pulled him out and had him pulling some tire. So, we've completed the Holy Trinity of running. So, that's another thing. Before the run today, my to-do list was just like crying. And I was like, the whole thing that started today was not rushing the run. So I queued up Lawrence's flow rope video, and I did it it was like 11 minutes. And in it, he's like, now be patient. And I was like, oh, because I could be like, I already know how to do that. And I was like, whoa, kind of brought back. So flow rope, walking backwards. And now we have completed the Trinity with resisted walking. Which I really, even though my body was like, what are you doing today? So grateful for it. Showed up, the best it could. It showed up when it mattered too. Like it showed up when I needed to do the fast on the flats. It showed up. I'm so grateful for it. I feel freer in my hip flexors, and I feel more extension because of this resisted walking. And we're just doing a little bit of it.
Yeah, it's not that long, and it's another practice in being mindful of how you're walking. So it's not about pulling the tires fast or as hard as you can. It's about purposefully and intentionally pulling the tire slowly and mindfully to feel the engagement of your glute as you push.
Yeah, it works that
back leg off the ground. And I'm feeling it. I feel it. So we have a nice little system where one of us will walk up to the stop sign and back, pulling the tire, while the other one is doing backwards walking, and then we switch.
And any filming that needs to be.
Any filming for social media purposes will be done by the backwards walker. And that's how we have it set up. And then we have people, we're going, because people park cars on the street out front, and some people will be in their cars and get some looks.
But like yesterday, you were pulling the tire, and I was walking backwards, and there was an Amazon guy coming down the street, and I was like, oh, there's a car coming. And you went to like turn around, you got to like pull the tire. It's like a tail, you know. And he was laughing and smiling. So it's like pulling a tire down the street is bringing joy into people's lives. Yeah, and I love that.
It's something you don't see every day.
Yeah, and it's creating connection. People are like not yelling, but like yelling out, like, you know, what else did you do?
That looks hard.
Yeah. So it's like creates connection. Yeah. I love those moments.
Yeah, the Holy Trinity. So check out the podcast we did with Lawrence.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. He talks about that. So we turn to running.
Yeah,
let's talk about that quickly. I know we're trying to eat
dinner
quickly here.
Although this is the best part of my day, I have to tell you.
This is awesome. Returning to running, it has taken some time, but a few things have happened. I saw Lawrence firsthand, and he worked my body and pointed out some things that I need to change up. And one of them is, if you're on the video, you'll see that I'm sitting on my knees with a pillow under me, and no longer sitting cross-legged. That was one tip that Lawrence had given me, not only this past visit, but many visits previously when Lawrence used to live out here in Laguna.
You know that thing that somebody you really respect tells you to do something and you don't do it? We've all done that.
I'm there, guilty.
So here we are.
So here I am. So that was one thing. I also got a diagnostic ultrasound, which Lawrence had recommended, and then our friend Maddie had recommended as well. Got that. And that
because why?
Because I wanted to remove the doubt, of whether there was a fracture in the pelvis region. But the X-ray that I had after the accident didn't show one, and I know that doesn't always show fractures, stress fractures. So this was just that next level of removing the doubt. That's something we say to our athletes all the time. Like, if you feel compelled and you want to go see a doctor or whatever you want to do, remove the doubt.
100%.
Go do it, remove the doubt, and now you know. And then you move forward, right? So immediately once I got that information, I moved forward, and all sights were set on, okay, here we go. And so I saw a chiropractor, got a chiropractic adjustment once, and she said I hadn't seen her in 4 years. So that was pretty awesome. I don't need to go back right now. And then I went to go see Dr. Alex, acupuncturist here in Encinitas, and she was on the podcast too.
Yeah,
amazing
she's awesome.
soul. Mm-hmm. Her energy is so beautiful, and left the session there really, really optimistic. And so since then, I've been able to get on the treadmill and run sessions starting with 1 minute on, 1 minute off for 20 minutes. Then I went to 2 minutes on and 1 minute off. And the off is just a walk. And the easy run is at, I think, 10 minutes per mile. 3-1. And just yesterday I did 4-1. So I'm up to 50 minutes of running. Well, 40 minutes of running, 10 minutes of walking, but a 15-minute session. So tomorrow I'll do 5-1. And nothing is happening. Nothing, I shouldn't say anything is happening. I don't feel what I felt before, which was restrictive. So I feel like there's an opening and there's an opportunity. And I really, yes, those physical things that happened helped, but I also believe that my mind, when it gets fully on board and nullifies the doubt, any sense of doubt, and goes forward in the motion of where I want to go, the momentum picks up and the decision is made and there's no looking back. And that's really powerful in healing yourself too. I feel like these healing videos I've listened to and I've shared with you and many on the team, like planting that seed in the subconscious that you can heal yourself. Like you can move things around in your body to heal yourself. Can happen, but you've got to believe. And we were talking with our meditation teacher, Bob, about this, like belief, got to have belief and desire, and then you need to go have experience. And then from that, you know, Like, and I know I'm on the other side of this. I know it. And I appreciate all your support through it all and keeping me on my toes with the words that I'm using, because again, I don't have it all figured out and I'm human. So there's still words that aren't helpful, but I have you to help me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, doubt will, that momentum that you talked about, how you like all of a sudden there's all this momentum that will be thwarted. One of my favorite words, with doubt, by doubt. Good. Doubt is a mind virus.
Yeah. I wanted you to say that.
It's a mind virus. So if you're like, oh, I'm not sure. Oh, I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. Like, what do you need to do to remove the doubt? Remove the doubt and then move forward and don't look back. Move forward and don't look back. You have to remove that doubt. It's a festering virus in your mind. And, yeah, it's no good. So yeah, you've picked up great momentum and I think you're going to really surprise yourself at Oceanside.
I do too.
Because I think we've got a big presence there. What did you say? We have like 12 or so athletes racing.
12 athletes.
Big presence for us. I mean,
yeah.
Big presence, biggest one we've ever had. So if you're listening to this and you want to be a part of something freaking amazing, join us in Squad. Come on board in Squad. Come on board with Melissa is taking on athletes in one-on-one. And Squad is our coaching community. And yeah, we're actually doing our coaching call tomorrow night, but come and be a part of it. We're going to have people on the race course and on the sidelines. And actually, we just threw down the Oceanside Challenge. So you want to tell people what the Oceanside Challenge?
Yeah, this is what.
Well, it's funny because we were like, oh, what if we did this? No, and then we do this, and then just kept getting bigger. But yeah, okay. So the Oceanside Challenge is
race Oceanside 70.3 on Saturday,
or spectate.
Be there. Sunday, the Carlsbad 5,000 or the Carlsbad 5K all day,
20K.
And then back it up on Monday, we're going to go out and ride Palomar Mountain. And if you know me, it's my favorite hill to climb. So we'll be heading out to Palomar on Monday. So if you want to do the Oceanside Challenge,
join us in Squad. And come on board.
Come on out, support. There are people flying out just to spectate. This is starting to be a pattern. We saw this in Arizona. It's pretty cool. And I think it started way back in Oregon when Perks went out there and flew. So come on out and spectate, be part of the community. We do lots of stuff. So if you want to look at the Oceanside Challenge, there's stuff happening Thursday and Friday leading into the race as well. We'll be doing some workouts and team stuff. So,
and if you haven't, if you want to get a little taste of what the community is like, and especially at a race, go to our YouTube channel and queue up the Ironman Arizona race video. We had that done for us for the 5 first timers. Thank you, Maddie Whites, who created that for us. We captured all the video, our 5 first timers that finished. But again, we had people flying in to spectate and support, and that, this community is really powerful. You guys are listening to this, and that is powerful. But this community in the physical is beyond. It is so special, and it's open for you. And we don't have it all figured out. So.
And if you do, you don't.
We're a bunch of enlightened snobs because we're not. We're figuring it out.
That's the line in Moneyball where he's like, you think you know, but you don't.
You don't.
You don't. All right. So you want to talk about France?
Oh,
let's
you want to
this
talk
off
about
with
France?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got a few moments here.
Okay. I love this.
And people are like, well, what is France? Well, France is the next adventure.
Yes.
That Jess is leading. Yoga adventure. So it's not yoga, it's not adventure, it's a yoga adventure.
Yeah. So yoga.
So tell us about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, when is it?
Okay. Well, first, yoga adventures are the reason why I came to Earth.
Oh.
And they are adventure travel grounded in a daily yoga practice. So there's yoga most days. And within most days, it's twice a day. But everything is optional. Everything is optional. It's your adventure, your retreat. But I love it. I love these things because they're active. Like, I mean, BJ, we've never been the couple that's like just laid in the lounge chair and like drank pina coladas. Although our first night together, I think we had 11 mudslides. That was a long time ago.
That is true.
We had 11
I don't think we worked out that day.
Each, not together.
I don't think we worked
each.
Out the next day.
No, I don't think we
Everything was working out of our bellies.
No, we were at our job as they were implementing an alcohol policy. Anyway, it was a company party. Long story. Another podcast. Anyway, yoga adventures. So for all of these yoga adventures, I partner with the Travel Yogi, which is the original yoga adventure company. And they consciously create these culturally immersive experiences. One of the reasons why there's other companies that do these, and they're great companies, and I may work with some of them in the future, but right now my home is with the Travel Yogi. One of the reasons why I work with them is because they also partner with a company called Tomorrow's Air that has created this way of actually not reducing carbon, but removing carbon from the atmosphere. So every time you choose to travel with me on one of these yoga adventures, you're helping the environment. It's really, really beautiful. And they always take you to these unseen, really unique locations and experiences. So I love them. I know the owner very, very well. She's up in the LA area. Really lovely, very earnest and fierce businesswoman. So yeah, another reason women owned. So every one of these trips always has one word to describe it. And France is pleasure. Yes, love that. So it's in Provence, and it is more slow living. We do kayak under it in this river. I think it's a river. And this, look at you, BJ. You can see actually the picture right here. It's this Roman aqueduct, and it's called Pont de Garde. And so we kayak through here. It's beautiful. And then let's see, what else do we do? Well, what should we pick a day?
Yeah, pick a day.
Okay.
Day 4.
Oh, day 4. Okay.
Because last time I said the day.
Okay. Day 4. Day 4 in Provence. Morning yoga followed by breakfast. Depart this morning for a local experience at a here's the cultural immersion, family-run organic essential oil distillery, a natural treat for senses and soul. Learn the step-by-step process of organic cultivation and distillation of plants into essential oils. Grab your gloves and a sickle and lend a hand in the seasonal harvest. Lavender gets all the attention in Provence, but various plants get harvested throughout the year to be transformed into oils. Discover the chemical distillation process as you load up your harvest, stomp it down in the vat, and watch the oil drip into creation. Create your own essential oil mixture and enjoy the natural benefits and fruits of your labor. Tuck into a well-earned picnic lunch at the distillery among the fields. After lunch, head off to enjoy another major natural fruit of the region at a family-owned olive farm. I don't know how to pronounce this word. The Alpilles, Alpilles, is a region famed for its olive oil production. Sorry, Italy. That's on here. Stroll the farm, gain an appreciation for the process of organic small batch olive oil production, and enjoy a guided tasting of the region's second most famous creation. Evening yoga back at home. Head out tonight for dinner in the local village of Saint Remy. That sounds like a good day. Oh my God, olive oil and bread. I'm so hungry. Yummy.
All right. So how do people sign up?
Should we do another day?
Yeah, do another day. Do day 2.
Oh, day 2.
Do the day with the
e-bikes?
Yes.
In the ancient city?
Yes.
Okay. There happens to be an e-bike ancient city day. All right, that is day 2. Morning coffee, tea, and fruit available. Wake up and refresh morning yoga. Local specialties served for breakfast. And I will say, whatever your preference is for eating, you've got it. All you have to do is put that into your registration and you can have whatever it is that you like or do not like on your plate. Hop on an e-bike for a countryside and uphill pedal to the ancient and stunning Les Baux de Provence. Considered one of the most beautiful villages in France for good reason, the view of the village, ancient and slightly less ancient, can be enjoyed as well as the view of the surrounding country from this mountaintop in the Apilles. There's that word again that I don't know how to pronounce, Clark. Take in the natural and historical wonder of Les Baux and take time to stroll the streets, ruins and active churches, art exhibits and shops. Enjoy a leisurely lunch at a restaurant in Les Baux. Hop back on your e-bike for an at your speed ride back home. So speedsters or not speedsters, everyone is welcome. There is a time this afternoon to continue biking into Saint Remy, the nearby St. Paul Asylum, where Van Gogh painted while in residence, or to visit the Roman antiques, ruins, and monuments just outside the town. Early evening yoga, followed by a chef-cooked delicious dinner. And
Wow.
yes, you do get super spoiled with private chefs. We are staying at this gorgeous countryside chateau. It's got 2 pools. Every room has its own bathroom, and it's just absolutely stunning. So the dates, October 11th through the 18th. You can go to yogitriathlete.com under Yoga Adventures and click through to sign up. You can go to thetravelyogi.com and find the Provence or France yoga adventure. And then you can find my dates there. They've got lots of adventures going to France. Come to mine. And we'll go to, let's go to France.
Sounds pretty.
Yeah. And if you like, well, to speak to the wine drinkers, there'll be plenty of wine. We actually go to Chateau Neuf de Pop. We make actually our own blend that we can take home. And if you don't drink wine, you are welcome as well. It's not just about wine, but that is, a delight of the area for sure.
Très bella. Very beautiful.
Très bella. Is that Italian or is it French?
It's French.
France. Oh my God. Who's your French teacher?
Madame Latessa.
Ooh, she was going all in.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
Mike Silva, shout out to you. Remember French class. Yeah, that was interesting. I think that's a great adventure.
I'm so
and you're
excited.
going to be coming off of Patagonia and the Galapagos.
Yes, Patagonia. I'm leaving next week. So this will drop on Monday. I'm leaving on Thursday. And then the Galapagos in the spring and Provence in the fall. Let's go.
Sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah. And brewing up things for 2026, not released yet, but there's plenty on the menu.
So if you want to be notified of all these adventures and things that are happening at Yogi Triathlete, go to our website. At the bottom, you can sign up into your email address and you will be part of our list, and you'll get the first notifications of adventures that are happening.
Yeah.
All right.
Wrap it up, Beach.
I get to wrap it up.
You wrapped it up so well in the first one.
Oh man, pressure.
And then I was like,
pressure's on.
Delete.
So thank you all for listening and tuning in to the Yogi Triathlete podcast, the pause version series, which has been receiving some great feedback. And we appreciate you guys letting us know what you want to hear, what you want us to talk more about, and what's working for you and what we can do better, because we don't have it all figured out. But this is something that we enjoy. We love to live it, to teach it. That's a big element of Yogi Triathlete. And I get to do it alongside my partner, coworker, love of my life, my best friend. And you get the inside scoop of how we interact with each other, which is very special. And I don't take it lightly. So thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.